Life is for living, and at First International Bank and Trust, we're all about living, helping your dreams come true. Because we're not just in the banking business. We're in the first home business, the community sponsorship business, the how do I make this happen business, making your banking life easy so you can focus on what matters most. First International Bank and Trust. Live first.
A family farm is, well, different. The cab of a tractor is the CEO's office. Board meetings are held on the bed of Grandpa's pickup. And a conference call is a holler across the yard to hurry your chores, kids. There's homework to be done. A family farm is about family pride as much as profit. Farmers Union Insurance believes this way of life is worth protecting. Because this isn't just where we work, it's also our family's home. Farmers Union Insurance. Simply different.
Coming to you from the Minot Area Community Foundation Room. We're changing it up this week for another new episode of Tauros Weekly. I'm your host, Peter Theodos. That's Ken Oda. And Ken, we're just going to jump right into the festivities of Christmas. So we got a few players that are going to come in on a rotation, and then at the end of the show, we're going to have a surprise for everyone. So our first group of players, we got Reed Bogelholm, Mason Campbell, and Jacob Thomas. Gentlemen, welcome to Tauros Weekly and Merry Christmas.
Thank you.
First off, what'd you think of the meal? Homesteaders hooked us up with a team dinner tonight for Christmas. Good food?
It was awesome.
What'd you guys have?
Beef stew and salad.
What was that, the white stuff? What was that called?
They said it was like a cookie salad or something. It was like a cookie, like crunched up cookies with like whipped cream or something. So it was good, yeah. Just slide them.
Carrots were on the rail too.
Yeah. So, yeah, obviously winter break coming up next week. You guys excited to go home and spend a little time with your families?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, for sure.
Forever.
Yeah.
First, about half the season now in the books. It's obviously been a weird year. We've played almost exclusively at home. What's it been like just being a Toro here for the first time?
I think it's been awesome. I mean, this is my first experience away from home playing hockey, but it's nice to come to a place with such a good community and teams treated so well here. Such a well-run organization, so couldn't ask to be in a better place.
You know, Jacob, you actually had to go to the ER a couple of times. One of the times was after a practice, you took a skate to the wrist. Being away from home, was there any kind of was it hard to be away and like kind of just be on your own through that whole process? Are you used to that whole process of being on your own?
It was a little weird, you know, like I haven't gone to the ER without my parents. I don't know, I think that might have been the first time because I happen to be there a lot, but yeah, it's definitely weird adjusting, you know, moving away from home for the first time.
We can't just leave that. You happen to be in the ER a lot. Like, how much? You're what, 18?
Yeah.
How many times have you been in the ER?
Probably like 5 or 6.
All hockey related?
No, I think only 2 might have been hockey related. One of them I didn't really need to go though. I just thought I might have broke my collarbone, but I didn't, so it's all good.
It's still better to get it checked out than just, guess.
Gents, as I said, Christmas coming around the corner, going home for the families, to the families. What are some Christmas traditions that you guys have had that you look forward to seeing and being a part of this Christmas? Mason, we'll start with you.
Yeah. Normally we go over to my mom's side Christmas Day, and we play like a group or like a family bingo, and like we put a bunch of presents in the middle, like each family contributes, and then if you get a bingo, you just gotta go pick a present and open it at the end and see what you get.
When you're playing bingo, do you guys prefer to do like the corners, only diagonals, like comp?
We switch it up every round. Normally it'll start out with just a normal bingo, and then like once we kind of get bored of that, then we'll start switching it around and playing games and having fun.
Reed, how about you? Any Christmas traditions? From the
Yeah,
family?
we always go to my grandma's, my dad's mom, on Christmas Eve, with all my cousins. So my aunt has 7 kids, so there's a lot of kids there. So that's always fun, and we just play. I don't know, it's called Aggravation. It's a board game. My family loves that game, so we always play that, and then we always open up presents for my grandma, and then Christmas Day, normally just spend it with the family. And
Approximately, what is the age group of all these kids? Are you looking at a bunch of little kids that are just like always running around pulling at your pants leg, like trying to get your attention?
Well,
or are they like older, like your age?
Yeah, well, I have 3 sisters. One's 23, and then the youngest one is 7. So, and then my aunt, her youngest one is about 10, and her oldest one is, I want to say like 28, and already has kids. So
Gotcha.
there's a lot of
variation.
variety there.
Gotcha.
So
What about you, Jacob?
On Christmas Eve, we always go over to my dad's side. They live far away, so I don't get to see them that often. So it's nice to see them there. And then on Christmas Day, I spend it with my mom's side. There's a lot of family there, so it's a hectic day.
But here, before we get to Christmas, we've got 4 big points up for grabs this weekend. One last weekend of hockey. The Bobcats are coming up. You guys have all now had a taste of that rivalry. What makes a Toro Bobcat game maybe a little different than some of the others?
Well, I think number one is just being so close and getting to play the same team so many times. You know, you start to get to know those players, and it's just, as a competitor, you know, the more you play the same guys, the more you don't get to like them. So I think that just brings a lot of excitement. So
Yeah, building off that is like, I know like my billet family, they like know a lot of people in Bismarck, and like it kind of like spikes the rivalry that way. Like since they're so close, you know a lot of people from there, and like that, like hearing stuff from my billets, like that makes me want to beat them too.
Yeah. The only time we played them 3 times in 1 week, that's definitely, you know, when you play them that often, it builds up a lot.
How do you guys guard against looking ahead? I think looking kind of back on Toro history, we've seen a lot of blowouts either for us or against us on this last weekend before Christmas break. It seems like, sometimes it seems like playing on the road seems to almost help get everyone focused. But how do you guard against maybe being mentally already on your way home?
well, I think it's huge, and Wags has reminded us a few times, and I think it's just really important to remember that Christmas break starts the 20th, not the 18th or not the 17th. So this might be our last week until we go home for Christmas, but break doesn't start until we get those 4 points. So.
And it's kind of been a weird schedule. We're supposed to go, originally the schedule was we go to Austin, we go to St. Cloud. Well, those teams ended up coming here, and we've played a lot of home games. The only road games we've played, like true road games, was the preseason weekend, or the preseason game in Aberdeen, the preseason weekend in Watford, and then Bismarck. Has it kind of been weird for you guys not actually going on overnight trips? And how has that kind of affected kind of the team chemistry of not being able to bond on the road?
Yeah, I think it's helped and hurted because you do miss that bonding part, but you also get to sleep in your own bed every night, which is really nice, where you're not like, you come home, you have like food, you wake up, you have all your food, you wake up in your own bed, which is all nice, not waking up in the hotel and like sitting around all day. So like it's like that home feel where you get to do what you want. But yeah, you do miss out big time on the bonding part and getting to be around the guys all day. So I think it helps and hurts.
Looking at when you guys come back from break, obviously we're going to have to start playing some road games at some point. Have you looked at how that might affect the schedule, having to play maybe 4 or 5 weeks in a row on the bus?
It'll definitely be interesting, you know, spending a month on the road, but I mean, I think we do well at away games and we'll come out on top.
How much does having just, compared to the buses you guys rode on in high school, the sleeper bus, it probably doesn't make that big of a difference going down to Bismarck, but how nice is having stuff like that?
I think it's huge. You know, it's one of those like I said before, just how this organization treats our players. I think it's just, as a player, you ride down on that bus, and most players, get that tight coach bus and not a lot of leg room. But when you get that, it just makes you want to do everything you can and sets you up with every opportunity to perform at your best for your organization, your players, and your coaches.
As we talked about and you guys mentioned, a lot of families. Is there anybody you guys want to say Merry Christmas to or just say hi to that might be watching?
Merry Christmas to my family and my billet family.
Yeah, same here to the Andersons and my family at home.
Yeah, Merry Christmas to the Wagners and also my family at home, too.
Gentlemen, we appreciate you coming on. We'll let you get back to the little party that's going on in the room behind us, and if you don't mind sending in a few more guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Ken, while we wait for them, why don't you talk a little bit about what you guys used to do? I won't mention give a date or two, and date it. But what would you do for Christmas?
Christmas with my family is always a little bit different, I think, compared to most of my friends growing up. Being, my dad's side of the family is Japanese. My favorite Christmas memory is, after the whole Christmas dinner was done, there would still be a ton of rice left over, and my uncle Jimmy and I would have rice eating contest. We both grab a bowl, see who could eat the most bowls of rice. And literally, we'd eat 10 bowls of rice on Christmas. They're the little little Japanese rice bowls, not like a big soup bowl.
But it's still a lot of rice.
Yeah, it's still probably in the end the equivalent of 3 or 4 of the big Chinese food containers. And that's what we'd do on Christmas. It didn't matter when I was that age, but now that was the big Christmas thing. That, and we used to hook up with the old NES and play Duck Hunt as a family.
Gotcha.
Who do we got coming in now?
Stoff, Charchenko, and Kylan.
Welcome in, boys.
Yeah, Stoff, you kind of just introduced everybody for us, so appreciate that. And welcome to the show, Nikolai. Welcome back. I guess this is your second or third time, I guess.
Third time, I think, now.
So, yeah.
And he's the reigning Target Tuesday champion now.
He is now. Why don't you talk a little bit about that? We'll just start off. What was the game plan and all that?
I guess originally we were supposed to go on the ice for it, and then wasn't the best ice. We kind of took a little too long to hit all 5 targets, but had to change it up. Went to the shooting cage instead and won there. I think I won in both places too.
You did win in both places. So, we'll talk a little bit about the beginning, how this season's gone. You were here last year, obviously, and last year, a lot of road games to start the season.
Yep.
This year, technically, the only road games we played are Watford City, which was a preseason, and Bismarck. So a lot of sleeping in your own bed.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that's helped, affected, or kind of done both? Been a little bit of both for the way the season started?
I think it's helped. Definitely sleeping your own bed's a lot better at night. Get your own rest, and you kind of get your own game day rituals instead of going to road games. You got to follow all the team protocols and all that stuff. So I think it's helped being at home and helped being in our own beds and at our own houses too. So we've been really lucky with that.
How about for you guys, as guys adjusting to the junior game? How do you think it has helped not having to deal with road games yet for the most part, just being able to kind of set up shop here at the Mesa?
Yeah, I think it's been pretty good. Just doing our own thing in front of our fans and just playing in the same rink that we've been playing in for months. So it's been pretty good opening the junior hockey.
I'm kind of used to the road games at Culver. We don't really have anybody near us, so our road games are usually 5 hours minimum on the road. So kind of used to spending long trips away and being on the bus for an extended period of time. So it's nice to play a lot of home games. Kind of just stay at home, be in your own bed, in your own atmosphere at the rink, having all the fans there. It's a big help.
Char, these new guys have mentioned fans, but I feel like this year we haven't gotten that full experience just with the attendance limitations at capping us at 600. How much do the vets miss playing in front of 1,500, 2,000 people a night?
I do definitely. It's really nice when you get the whole stadium surrounded with you with fans yelling and screaming and ripping on the other team when you're skating down the ice. It's definitely an advantage towards us and builds up energy. So,
last weekend before another Christmas break, has there been any kind of thoughts going through your mind of, hey, we got to stay focused here. We can't just kind of relax and coast into these into this weekend, because this is a big weekend in the long run with 4 points on the board. Cole?
I mean, it's important that, like, it's not like school where you can check out for the last week and show up for a test and be all right. I mean,
you never did that.
No, not at all. But
Only a few times.
They're big games against Bismarck. They're a good rival, and they're going to be good, and they're fired up after taking a loss to St. Cloud, and we are too. So it's going to be a battle of who's going to come back stronger after the loss and focus on what they need to improve on, and who's going to have more willpower and more drive before Christmas break.
You mentioned being motivated by that loss to St. Cloud. St. Cloud was a very different team this last weekend than we saw at the end of October. Did that catch you guys off guard at all?
I mean, I would say a little bit. Just a lot of different faces in that lineup, and after seeing them like a month ago, we knew that it would probably be different. The coaches told us it would be different, but I think a few guys probably put it in the back of their mind, like, oh, it's just still St. Cloud or whatever, and maybe caught us off a little off guard this weekend. So,
Shar, you had an opportunity to kind of keep moving forward here. You got. Actually, I'm just gonna be honest. I don't know where I was going with that question.
Well,
I know we're live, but
no,
you have. This,
I think where you go is, we're still playing hockey, whereas a lot of teams are not. You look at, St. Cloud was coming in off of a long break. We did have that small break in November. Looking towards the second half of the year, do you feel like there's going to be an advantage to maybe having already got 20 games in the books, whereas you look at the Minnesota Wilderness, they've played 3 games this year. They're going to have to play 57 over the next 4 months. Do you think how much will that help you guys having 20 games already in the books?
Yeah, I mean, definitely the team chemistry. I think Austin's the same way there. I mean, I know they're playing right now, but they had a slow start to the season. And definitely having 20 or so games, whatever it is, and then with this weekend too, it's going to help build out our systems, team chemistry coming down to the long run.
Was it kind of also weird these last couple weeks having both St. Cloud and Austin practicing and being in town the entire week before? Was that kind of just weird seeing the team that you were about to play?
Did you run into them? Did you guys interact with them at all?
I mean, I saw quite a few of them, like at Duffy's getting my skates sharpened, or kind of just around town. Like, I'd run into them random places, and it's a weird thing after playing 10, 12 games before of not seeing the other team until, like, you get on the ice or kind of walking around the rink and you see them here and there. But seeing them around town and seeing them on the ice, on the other ice sheet when we're getting off and going to head upstairs and work out or run, like, it's just weird. It's kind of catches you off guard, like, oh, wow, that's actually them. Like, they're watching us, we're watching them. Definitely a weird feeling.
A few of them were in the training room on Saturday morning, looked at me and said hey to me. I was like, eh. Caught me a little off guard that they were there. Not used to that. Seeing the other team in our own training room.
Obviously, we've talked about a big weekend, but Christmas is coming up. What are some things that you guys have done with your families over Christmas break, and what will you guys do during Christmas break? Are you guys going to be able to go home?
Yeah. I'm more of a laid-back guy on Thanksgiving. On Christmas, my family doesn't do much. We just we eat spaghetti and meatballs every Christmas, and that's just kind of what we do, and just open presents. Not much tradition.
I'm actually surprised my mom for Christmas, so hopefully she's not watching this. But I mean, usually we just kind of spend time with just her and I. Like, it's just been us for the past 5-6 years. So we usually go out, we'll go on a hike with our dogs, and then we go pick out like an ornament that is special between us and put it on our tree every year. So kind of just get a new one every year that's got a different meaning from each year, like what we've gone through and everything. So I think this year, like, we're getting like a bowl one for the Tauros. Like, started my junior hockey here, so definitely going to be a special one to go on the tree.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be going home. We'll be going and seeing Santa, I think, next week sometime, so that'll be fun. And then having Christmas both sides of the family. We're both sides, Churchinko on my mom's side's around Minnesota, so we spend time with family. Nice to see them.
Anybody you want to give a shout out to real quick? Obviously, Cole. Hopefully,
Hopefully my mom's not
yeah.
watching.
Hopefully, your mom's not watching. But anybody else you guys want to wish a Merry Christmas to, and just give them a quick shout out.
You got anybody, Char?
I know my grandparents are probably watching, maybe, so Merry Christmas to you. See you in a few days. Can't wait to be home.
I'm good. I don't know if I got anybody.
You're good.
Yeah.
All right. So you guys, thanks for coming on the show, guys.
Sean, you want to? There's that surprise for all the rookies. If you want to,
Yeah, I'll go get them. Don't worry.
all that.
Yeah.
All right.
This isn't gonna be good here.
Oh, here we
While
go.
we're waiting for the rest of the guys to get into the room, Peter, you asked me. I'll ask you what's your family Christmas tradition? I know you've got your family came here this year.
Yeah, so I got really lucky. My parents are in town, so it's I'm going to be able to spend time with them. But when I still lived in West Virginia, it was either we spent Thanksgiving in West Virginia with my mom's side of the family, or we went to Philadelphia, where my dad's side of the family's from. So we split. Usually did one of the two, which was always fun. So as we file in the rookies.
We'll
Yeah,
leave
we're
the
gonna
table.
move. They don't exactly know what we're about to do, or they're about to do.
Oh God.
We do.
Have a seat, Stacks.
Good.
Welcome to the front line, Stacks.
Yeah.
Nice.
Keller, I heard you got a seat too there.
Has Westy told you guys what
We
you're
got like rookie karaoke here or something going on.
It's, you're gonna wish Toro fans a Merry Christmas and then sing Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
Oh, I don't know the lyrics.
Can we get the lyrics?
Can we get the background trap?
I don't know the lyrics.
I know. I'm
Don't know the lyrics.
No.
Okay, can we
I
just
think I
start
know the
singing?
first one.
Take it away.
What does it start with?
Read it, read.
Start it, reader.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Thank you, fans. Merry Christmas. Rudolph the
Red-nosed reindeer had a very shiny nose. And if you ever saw him, you would even say it close. The other reindeer used to laugh and call him names. And Rudolph joined many reindeer games. Christmas Eve, Santa came to say, Rudolph, with your nose so bright, won't you guide my sleigh tonight? And the reindeer loved him, and shouted out with glee. Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer, he'll go down in history.
All right, thanks, guys.
I don't know the lyrics. That
Well, Ken, I don't think we're gonna have any.
I think if anything, we owe Toros fans an apology.
Yeah,
that
I
was.
we're
We'll
gonna
leave
have
them playing hockey and less
not
singing.
American Idol.
No, that was not good.
No, it wasn't. One last thing before we get off of here, we're gonna ask our cameraman Sean Bachhoven to come up here and join us really quick, as he looks at us all confused.
For those who don't,
You're good.
know from behind the scenes, Sean for 2 years now has been directing Toros Weekly, running the graphics, running the intro, and turned it above his garage basically into a studio for the show. Sean, we're not going to pepper you with questions or anything. We just it's really meant a lot to Peter and I and the team as well, and we want to take a minute to say thank you and Merry Christmas. And we know how much you love Magic City Hoagies
Because you say about it every time.
every time the commercial plays that you want to go there. So we wanted to buy you a few lunches. Wanted to buy you a few lunches and say thank you for everything you've done for the show.
Yeah, and we also just wanted to say thank you for also doing this at the last minute, and bringing your mics, coming here and making sure everything's set up. And a couple weeks ago when we had the Austin coaches on, doing that last minute also.
That's mostly Patty.
But in Patty as well, Ken and I and the rest of the team, we really do thank you for everything that you've done for this show.
And for the organization.
And
in
for the
general.
organization.
Your billets, you've been amazing with everything.
You help with the game day in the press box.
So.
But as he said, and I'll say it again, from the bottom of our hearts, we thank you for everything that you do.
Appreciate it. I'll go shut the show down.
Yeah.
So yeah, that just about does it.
Yeah.
We'll be on next week as long as Sean's available. Not to put him on the spot, we hadn't talked about it yet, but we will have a couple players who do stay in town. Big weekend, as we mentioned with the boys, Tauros and Bobcats. For Toro fans who want to make the trip down, I just saw this afternoon, tickets are available on the Bobcats website, bismarckbobcats.com. You can get tickets. They have a limited number, again, COVID restrictions for them as well. So if you want to snatch those up and get down there and support the boys this last weekend before Christmas break, I'm sure it's always fun when the building's louder when we score than when they score.
So that'll do it from the Minot Area Community Foundation Room here at the Pepsi Rink in the Mesa Arena. We'll see you guys next week, but from all of us here at the Tauros, have a Merry Christmas and a Happy Holidays.